Wow, well, as I said before, I was away last weekend in London, and me and Lee were watching this programme about Elizabeth I when they stuck up this map before, or part of the series, and in it it says Tartaria, which I'll show you a bit more in a moment. And this here is Greenland, and this is the UK. Now Greenland, on another video I've made where Trump was going to buy Greenland, they said that Greenland was 7 times the size of the UK. But anybody looking at a map will see that Greenland looks the size of America and Canada put together on the map. So why make it so big if it's so small? But anyway, what is all this here? It even comes down almost to Russia here. And there are now just some islands here. But this, the top of Greenland, is kind of in the way for this waterway through here, whatever it is. Is this ice? Is it land?
It's an island 7 times the size of the UK.
This guy in this video said that Greenland is 7 times the size of the United Kingdom. But when you look on this map, Greenland is the same size. Well, you put that on America and Canada together, so it's got to be a lot bigger than he says.
But home to the same number of people as live in Canterbury. It has a small economy, almost entirely based on fishing, and while it has its own government, it remains part of Denmark, 2,000 miles away. So it was quite a surprise when earlier this year, Donald Trump said he was interested in purchasing Greenland.
Essentially, it's a large real estate deal. We're looking at it. It's not number one on the burner.
It doesn't have many words on it to say. There is a word there. But anyway, let's play the video. I just found it all very, very interesting. And the fact that Tartaria, so we're talking of the 1500s, and it's got Tartaria. Anyway, people can slow this down and watch it. I know it's going to be a little bit smaller than for me. Yeah, there's the UK. There it says Tartaria. There's the UK. There's Greenland. Just thought that was very interesting at the beginning of this video to show that map on a programme on the TV. Well, from a programme on the TV. When we look at these pictures here, all we're looking at is a bunch of paintings. There are no photographs or anything to say that these people were ever real. We're looking at a bunch of paintings, just to add to the mix here. When researching for this video, if you actually watch this video, they're saying that it's very dangerous times. Everything was so uncertain at this time. Elizabeth I and all the espionage going on. Basically, there is a picture of her wearing this dress. Now, when you zoom in, and saying is that on her dress she has eyes and ears, because it was a spy network, the first one of its time, to do with Cecil, the person who was with her, and the circle. It's just unbelievable. It's a network of spies. Basically, in this whole history bit, it talks about for Mary Queen of Scots to talk to her people, she devised or had this code, and what it is that William Cecil, Elizabeth I's confidant, broke or got the whole thing broken down, and it is now in history the first time that this kind of thing was used. And it wasn't in the Second World War or what we think. It was the 1500s. Things going on with this code. There he is, William Cecil. All around Queen Elizabeth I. So, but there just seems to be so many stories going on. It's a bit hard to work out whether she actually set it up or whether he did, and he had more control than her. What it is that if you want someone executed, you needed the Queen's seal as well as somebody from Parliament. Well, he was from Parliament, or enough to cover that part of it, and the Queen signed it. But then she wanted it back. She changed her mind. But of course, what is being ousted around is that, well, the Queen says take it out of my hands and sort of do what you've got to do, and as if, well, I'm closing my eyes and ears, a bit like her dress, and you do what you've got to do and then you tell me about it and I won't know anything about it, sort of thing. And that's what happened when he heard that. There he is. He took it on his shoulders to have Mary Queen of Scots executed. And then what it was is that they broke through this whole thing that she was doing, and obviously each letter meant a word. So she was passing letters to the cider man. Every few days a person would come with the alcohol, and that person was double dealing. That's what they said in the programme. Anyway, he was being passed stuff and they were looking at his stuff and then they were passing it back, and they needed her to want Queen of England dead, which she did eventually, and then they could get her on treason. This is Mary Queen of Scots, who was still a Catholic, by the way. William Cecil, he was to get Mary Queen of Scots. But if we remember, Elizabeth I was a Protestant queen, and obviously Henry VIII was a Protestant king. Now that's quite a big shift in a religion, isn't it? That we were all Catholic and now we've got a Protestant king and a Protestant queen. So there was a lot of, obviously maybe most of the country was Catholic or had been Catholic, or Europe was Catholic. So there's a lot going on in this time. I just thought it was quite strange, to be honest, that this is 500 years ago and this is happening. Yeah, and don't forget we talked on a hangout that they had put I-790, I-180, whatever it was, and then over time the I has been turned into a 1. So there's 1,000 years and there's 500 years back. Do you see what I mean? Nothing adds up, nothing is correct, but that was part of the research. And what it was is that we was watching this at my boyfriend's place over the weekend, and then I remembered something else. In this next bit of footage, we're with Tony Robinson, who's with the Time whatever it is time team, and what it is that he's done some research, and he reckoned that Edward IV was illegitimate. So anybody that comes on this line, which goes from here down to here down to here, all these people, none of these people should have been kings or queens or anything. No, none of them. And that the line should have come down here with the Plantagenets people, of which we should have King Michael. History has gone down so wrong as it is. This house here is in Australia, and what it is he thinks the best thing to do is to go in there and just explain, obviously, a bit before, because he's turning up with a director, a cameraman, and then tell him that he actually should have been the rightful heir to the throne, and that person there actually should be the King of England. What's happened is the man here with the jacket on has worked out down here that one of them had been born out of wedlock. So that person should never have been king. He did not have the rightful heir to the throne. And so anybody that follows him in the line that we're in, where his hand is wrong. So anybody down here in this line here, then these lot here are not correct. They none of these, and it goes obviously on because we've got the Windsors. He comes from this line here, and it should have been carried on this line, and it means that he should be King of England. And the really strange thing is, he doesn't give a damn about it, and he wouldn't come back. That's what he says. He's happy with his life in Australia, and he's getting on with it. But this man here should have been the king. His lineage means he should have been the King of England, and there's no way Elizabeth I or any of that should have happened, because his lineage should have been there, and they should have taken the royalty from his line. Now come on, this is absolutely huge. We've got the wrong king, and then I've just played you that bit of video. That's what they're telling us about Elizabeth I, Mary Queen of Scots, William Cecil, the whole thing. This is just absolutely incredible. How can this happen? How can? It's just incredible. But anyway, that's the bit I wanted to add. So we have those crazy maps with Tartaria on them. This person should have been king. And we have then obviously all that stuff now with a whole spy network grid happening all round Mary Queen of Scots, William Cecil, and obviously maybe even Elizabeth I. But this is just incredible. But anyway, I'm just wondering how far out they are with their history. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yes, for anybody who's got to the end of the video, this is obviously, it says Australian and New Zealand, right? And it's a sneak peek. But those maps and the Elizabeth story come from here. Now, I've watched part 1 on Virgin Media, okay, in the history section. So hopefully everybody will be able to find it. And the bit about the royal person comes from this video here. Yeah, there you go. You can put, write that down, put it in, and look it up yourself. Anyway, I hope that's been of some interest to you.